Greetings, YouTubians, and welcome back to Wayne Sharp World, where today we have a brand new Wii on the channel for you. That is none other than the Wii Esprit. Now, before I go any further into this review, I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in today. If you like what you see, please do me a huge favor. Smash that subscribe button, follow along, and I will continue to bring you the content. Now, let's take a look at some overall specs on this knife right here. We have an overall length of 7.44 inches with a blade length coming in at 3.25 inches. The cutting edge on that blade is 3.125 inches and a blade width coming in at 1.125 inches. We have a blade thickness of 0.12 inches. That blade material is CPM 20CV with a very nice drop point style blade, a flat grind, a handle length coming in at 4.19 inches, with a handle thickness coming in at 0.44 inches. We have a handle width of 1.125 inches and a handle material of carbon fiber on the show side with a titanium frame lock side. That locking mechanism, as I just mentioned, is indeed a frame lock with a very solid lockup indeed. A weight coming in at 3.04 ounces, so 3 ounces for all intents and purposes, nice and light EDC. A price of $216.75. I will talk about that a little later. And designed by the one, the only, one of my all-time favorite designers, Ray Laconico. And if you didn't even see the spine of the blade, could you not tell this is a Laconico design? But if you don't believe me, yeah, there you go. It is definitely Ray. Now let's take a look at some size comparisons here, because this is we're talking that really happy size range for me. We have a Benchmade bug out, and we also have a ProTech Malibu. So as you can see, pretty comparable to both of these knives, really. Maybe a little more so to the bug out just because of handle thickness. But regardless, very good size comparisons there. And one more quick round of size comparisons with one knife that's very comparable to it. Not this one. This is the Paramilitary 2. That's just to give everybody an idea of the length or lack thereof compared to the Paramilitary 2. And this one right here, the TRM Atom. Now, take a little closer look at these. Look at these handles. You know, it is longer. There's the Paramilitary 2, as you can see. We'll get rid of the Paramilitary 2 for a second, but take a look at this. I mean, what you have with the Esprit is something very much in between the TRM Atom, which is a 3.5-inch blade, and the TRM Neutron. I'm almost positive it's a Neutron that has a 3-inch blade. But the handle, I mean, there's a lot of similarities as far as just the lines of the handle. Now, obviously, you guys know Ray Laconico. He has no reason to, I'm not even trying to go there of the similarities, because I'm not saying that. I'm just simply saying that, just looking at shape to shape, outline to outline, some nice similar comparisons there. So if you like the ergos of the TRM Atom, you're probably going to really like the ergos on this Esprit. Now let's talk about this Esprit, because I don't even need to say it again, but I will for the sake of this content and everyone to know it. I love me some Ray Laconico designs. If you guys thought there was just a slight chance that this was not going to be on my channel, well, yeah, guess again, here it is. This blade, it's simply a drop point blade that is all Ray. It really is. If you've seen his other designs, you're familiar with that swedge and the way he blends the grinds from the swedge and the actual cutting edge of the knife together. It looks so damn good. Elegant is a good way to put it. Very elegant appearance to this blade. And it's right at that perfect 3.25 inch length, with a nice slicey edge coming in at 16 thousandths behind the edge. It really is. That 15 to 16 thousandths is like it's really perfect. I mean, you get down to 10, 11 thousandths, and if it's a hollow grind, you can really notice a difference. But 15 and 16 thousandths right in that range, you guys, it doesn't really get a whole lot better than that, really. It really doesn't. It's just a great grind, the edge that it comes down to. A tip that is nice and slicey, but not too dainty. Not too dainty, as you can see there. You know, it's one that you can really do some decent work with, especially with that CPM 20 CV steel. So just a really, really excellently designed blade. I also love the swedge on this blade, functionally and aesthetically speaking, because it does a lot more than just look good. This swedge is really going to help reduce drag you've experienced through any heavier cutting tasks, especially you know where the swedge is. Obviously, you don't have a swedge right at the tip, but this area right here, yeah, any real tough cutting task, you're going to experience a lot less drag because of that swedge. So very, very functional swedge indeed. This blade also boasts some thumb studs and a front flipper that work pretty darn good, as expected. I don't think there's anyone in the knife industry that designs a knife with a front flipper and thumb studs. Very important to specify, front flipper and thumb studs better than Ray Laconico. The guy just has it down. He figured out the formula, and it works really, really good. We'll talk more about that in action. Lastly, I really love the darker stonewash finish on this blade. You know, when I first got into knives, guys, I was all about the satin look. I loved a good satin blade, and I still really love a good satin blade. But more so on a gentleman's knife. On a regular EDC, I have come to really like a stonewash blade, and I like how this is a darker stonewash. Not necessarily like an epoxy. It's almost like an acid wash, almost like an acid stonewash. That may be what it is, but they didn't specify that. They just listed it as stonewash, so maybe some type of a darker stonewash. I don't know. Regardless, it looks really, really good. It's going to hide a lot of scratches or marks you could put on it through use. So really, really good decision they made there. I like that. I also like how they matched it with the handle. So really good job there. Now going into handle and ergos, the ergos on this are excellent. I can't ever remember holding a Ray Laconico design in my hand and thinking, wow, these ergos really need some work. That's just not the case. It fills the hand great. It's smooth, as you can see. There's no hot spots anymore on this knife. Do you see any points? They're just not there. What's really impressive with this design is that even without a finger choil, you still have that level of control of the blade that you normally would with a finger choil. And a lot of that just speaks on behalf of Ray's design here, but it really is good. You stay close to the blade. A lot of it has to do with that little curve in there that kind of has the play of the finger choil, but it's not. Just excellent control, excellent feel in hand, really, really good there. Unique construction makes for less pieces and easy assembly. What you guys have here is, you see these screws right here? So if you look on the other side, there's not screws. They're just kind of a rounded, shined surface. That's one screw going through the whole knife. It's going through the back spacer and into the frame lock side. So when you take this out, it's just one screw. One screw there, one screw there. Hidden lanyard hole, which is really nice. That actually stayed intact. It wasn't one that fell out, so I don't know if they glued half that side in or something. If they did, thank you, because I really did appreciate that. I didn't have to go chasing after that after it fell off and rolled into oblivion. So really nice there. And then up here, just one screw on this side. Very, very easy disassembly on this guy. So I really do like that. I like how they work these two screws back here. It's just a couple less screws to have to keep track of, and a little easier to just disassemble the knife in general. Now let's talk about this pocket clip, because this is absolutely, without a doubt, close it here real quick, one of the best pocket clips I've ever seen on a knife. For a lot of reasons. Obviously, you have a recessed clip and recessed screws. You also just have a very perfect tension on that clip. Not too much, not too little. Just enough ramp to where this is not a hot spot whatsoever, but it still goes over any hem you have to put it through. And it makes for a great grip when front flipping the knife. We'll hit on that more when we get to the action, but again, well, I've always said this before, guys, you need a pronounced clip, a clip that comes up. Usually a flat milled clip is better, but in this case, they did a good job of making the clip length just right to where, and the ramp, it fits my hand perfectly to where my ring finger and my pinky finger are right on the rise, the bend of the clip, and then my middle finger is right on the ramp, and it's It's solid in hand, makes it very easy to deploy that front flipper. So well thought out there. And another very important aspect of this clip is, even though it is, as you can see, it comes out, it's there, but the wide handle, the wide hand-filling handle really, really, really helps mask. Time out real quick. I'm sorry I keep saying really. I had a viewer be like, stop saying really. But it just kind of happens sometimes. I get into a flow, I get to talking about the knife, and before I know it, I'm really, really, really talking about the knife. So I'll try to control it, but it's just a part of me, I guess. But the wide handle does immensely help hide the feeling of this clip. So when you have it in hand, the width of the handle, it disperses the pressure and push that you put when you're holding it in your hand, and you don't feel that clip much at all, especially the ramp, which is more prevalent on a lot of other knives. So it feels really, really good in hand, and that pocket clip almost disappears. I still feel it, but no hot spot. It feels great. And lastly, it looks great. It's got that little bit of curvature to it, just a nice, sleek design. There's nothing wrong with this pocket clip. A absolute perfect pocket clip. And to top it off, it has great carbon fiber. Not sure if I would call this marbled carbon fiber. I personally wouldn't. It's something in between a shred and marble. So again, it's definitely, I don't have a real good example of marbled right next to me, but marble you see kind of more like sharp swirls and more like real swirly swirls. What you have here is kind of like shred carbon fiber that was sanded and smoothed down, but it still looks really cool. It catches the light, and most importantly, guys, this is so darn smooth. Super, super smooth, no blemishes. So really, really nice carbon fiber on the show side. Now, going into the action, overall, the action's great. I must say, though, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I actually consider this a thumb stud knife first, front flipper second, and that's why I tell you, like I said before, Ray Laconico knows exactly where to place thumb studs on a knife. It's in the perfect angle to where when you push up, when you deploy that blade, it almost feels assisted. Almost. Doesn't quite have the force of like a spring tension, but the blade just comes out so effortlessly. It's just amazing. Now, the front flipper's still really good. Like I said, you've got the really nice clip back here to give you a good grip and flip the blade out with no issue. This knife is also reach around approved, so that also does work. And just no real issues with the action whatsoever. I pretty much, yeah, they're just great. They're just great. I wouldn't call it the best action I've ever felt on a knife, but no issues. No issues whatsoever. I still need to disassemble this knife and clean it, so usually I can get a little more smoothness out of it by that. Even we in Civivi, you'll find a little bits of dirt, or sometimes even a little metal shaving or two within the bearings that you clean out, and you can notice a big difference there. But overall, great front flipping action, great thumb studs, and of course, great middle finger flicking action. Going into my overall thoughts on this knife, I did have high hopes for this because you guys, you know how much I love Ray Laconico designs. And for the most part, my expectations were met with this. Very positive overall thoughts. Nothing to really pick apart on it, except for one thing. You got the fantastic design. You got the great ergos in action. But I think the price is too high on this one. And I don't think just a bit too high. I think it's just too high. The price, like I said, coming in at $216 and change. I'm just not seeing $216 on this knife. And for one main reason, if you go look through other offerings similar to this from WE, one that really stuck out to me was the WE Kite Fin. Now, the WE Kite Fin was an in-house design. I got to say that first and foremost. So again, you're not paying out the royalties to Ray Laconico or any designer on that knife. But that knife's coming in at $157. It does have S35 VN steel. These are kind of my thoughts. For if I can get this knife with S35 VN steel for somewhere in the, 170 to 180 range. That's even including royalties paid to Ray Laconico. I don't know exactly how much his royalties are. I'm completely just, processing this in my own head, which can be scary sometimes, but hey, I'm a free man, I can think. But I just think 216 is too high. I really think this knife would be perfect in the $170 to $180 range. I just don't quite, yeah, you have nice carbon fiber, you have nice titanium, you have a good blade, you also have that on a lot of Tucson's that are well under the $170 to $180 mark. So I just don't see $216 here. I don't. I still really like this knife though. Outside of the price, I have zero complaints. I'm a big fan of it, but the price is one of those things to where if you love the design that much and you maybe collect Ray Laconico as one of your primary makers, maybe you really like him. If that's one of your reasons, then go for it. It's a great knife. You're not going to be disappointed in the quality and action and everything that, that you really love in a knife, but the price is just up there for me. I do think the price is too high. I think it should definitely be considerably under the $200 mark for what you have. With that being said, though, like I said, it's a good knife. I like it a lot. Let me know what you guys think. I think a lot of you will probably agree with me on the price. But let me know in the comments. Let me know what you thought. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And until the next one, I'm out.